Bismillah. Hey, yo, Ali, start the video, bro. Waiting outside for me for Ramadan is upon us. Hello. Okay. Just gotta make sure it works. For my brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. For my non-Muslims, howdy do. Getting gains is hard enough. Going to the gym for some people is hard enough. Now just imagine not eating, not drinking for an entire month. A lot of people have goals in mind. They have goals in mind of what they actually want to do with their bodies. But realistically speaking, getting gains is already hard enough. Now you're telling me that I have to add more muscle, lose fat while I'm not eating and drinking. A lot of people are like, count me out. However, for the very few brothers and sisters that actually want to get gains in the Ramadan without overexert yourself, in a lack of a better word, this video is for you. There are 3 points, 3 main key points that help you build muscle or even maintain if you want to, while simultaneously losing fat in the process. Training at the right time. Now listen, training at the right time has to be one of my most significant points in this video. Even Khabib, a well-renowned UFC fighter, says he trains once after sahur and he trains once before iftar.
In Ramadan, I train like 1.5 hours before iftar every day. Most of the day we're doing cardio, like running, sprints.
You don't want to train in the middle of the day. It's going to exert your energy. However, this is training for wrestling. This is training for MMA. This type of training requires your cardiovascular system. It requires your body to be in a state of constant sweat, constant urgency, and constant fatigue. However, wrestling and MMA, that's not really your end goal at the end of the day. It's to build muscle. But at the same exact time, we have people training in literally the middle of the day thinking that for some reason they're going to lose more fat. In reality, it's probably going to make your workout worse. It's probably going to make your day worse and overall the experience worse. Think about it. If you train in the middle of the day, you'll end up being fatigued for the rest of the day, feeling like you don't want to do anything else except for sit in your bed and do absolutely nothing. Only train once a day, and right before iftar is the sweet spot. You're about to break your fast, you get a nice quick gym session in, and there you go. When you don't have any food, water, you don't have anything like that, you actually start to feel dizzy within the day. So add that on top of your workout, now you're going to feel even more dizzy. So the worst thing you can do is what many of these gym bros are doing currently, is just going all out in the gym every single day. That's the worst thing you could do in Ramadan. You're going to end up just passing out. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. Keep it very, very light, 50 to 75%. And then you're wondering, well, how do I build muscle if I'm only going 50 to 75%? It's called optimal training. If you go all out, you're just going to end up passing out. So if you end up just going all out, you're going to end up not getting the complete potential of the full workout. You do bench normally 225 for reps. Go 185, but this time instead of doing 6 to 8 reps that you were currently doing, do 8 to 10 reps. Go 185, do 8 to 10 reps. Or even 200 pounds, do 8 to 10 reps. Do a little higher volume instead of strength. If you want to go squats, I'll try to supplement something instead of squats, because squats do require a lot of energy at the end of the day. Squats, I would probably do something like hot squats or something like that. Now, the second point I want to bring up is eating junk food. Where most people gone wrong, and trust me, I've done this plenty of times, is when you're fasting for 14, 15, 16, sometimes even 17, 18 hours a day, when you're fasting for long durations of the day, at the end of your fast, you're like, you know what? I haven't eaten, I haven't drank. Let me go grab a can of pop. Let me go grab that box of donuts. Every single person has cravings right after iftar, and it doesn't help your case with trying to build muscle. All you're going to be doing at the end of the day, if you start eating junk food after iftar, is guess what? Your blood sugar is just going to spike. You're going to feel extremely bad right after you start eating that junk food, which does affect your energy levels the next day, because if you want to start working out consistently almost every day, it's going to affect your energies the next day. Blood sugar starts to spike. Guess what? It has to come to a crash. So that sugar is just going to spike your blood sugar, and then it's just going to crash. So the next day, you're just going to feel absolutely horrid. I already mentioned this on a previous video. Junk food in general, whether you're getting your calories or you're not getting your calories, it's just a very, very bad supplementation. Like, just don't have junk food. Have sweets, like I would have fruits, grapes, apples, bananas. In terms of your diet, I cannot specify this enough, at least 0.7 to 0.8 grams of protein per body weight. So if you at least want to maintain and if you at least want to gain muscle, 0.7 to 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So what this looks like is I'm 165 pounds. Honestly, if I have 100 grams of protein in both meals, so if iftar and sahur, that will maximize your potential to lose your fat and gain muscle. What you need to do is go on a slight calorie deficit, not that much, I would say 300 to 400 calorie deficit. Track your macros, both iftar and sahur. It's not that hard. And in due time, you keep it very consistent, 5 to 6 times a week. 5 to 6 times you're going to the gym a week. Now the last one's going to be the training regimen. Listen, I'm a big believer in cardio in order to get lean. For your training regimen, it's imperative that you have some sort of cardio, not that much, especially at the end of the day. I wouldn't do it right after sahur just because you're going to be drained for the rest of the day. Right before iftar, do a little bit of cardio every single day. Make sure that you're at least getting a little bit of a sweat in. Running, Stairmaster, whatever your type of cardio is, do it. I already mentioned this before, but in terms of the load capacity, don't go all out. Keep it minimal, 75% at best. Put pressure on the muscle, don't put too much pressure on the muscle. The muscle does need energy in order to function. It takes up oxygen, and the more muscle you have, the more oxygen it needs. The more oxygen it needs, you're just going to end up feeling lightheaded, right? I feel lightheaded doing the workouts I do outside of Ramadan. That's on top of me eating and drinking within the day. Now imagine not eating and drinking within the day. It's just gonna put too much of a burden on your body. Now in terms of the regimen, same exact push pull legs regimen. It's gonna be the same exact regimen. The only difference is two things. The load capacity, so how much you're actually exerting energy into the gym. And the second thing is going to be the types of workouts. So if you're doing squats on leg day, I would not do squats. I would do something like hack squats. Do something that doesn't require as much energy. One more thing, don't go to failure. Never go to failure. Failure is the exact opposite of what you want to do. You could do higher reps for a lower amount of weight. So for example, if you're doing 225 on bench, do 200 pounds on bench or even 195 on bench. But now go a little higher reps, 10 to 12 reps maybe, but never go till failure. And in terms of the proper diet, chicken, rice, salad, all things that help you build muscle. Now, in terms of sahur, in terms of your breakfast, I would recommend something that is a little more filling. So for example, oatmeal, for example, oats, yogurt, fruits, things that are a little more filling in order to keep you full for the rest of the day. At the end of the day, Ramadan is a blessing for all of us in order to be participating in this. However, the realistic aspect of it all, it can be hard for some of us. It can be hard for some of us in order for us to still maintain this level of intensity without fatiguing out, without burning out. Whether that's work, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's just everyday chores, you're going to feel dizzy, you're going to feel lightheaded physically at least. Just keep in mind, the more you suffer within this dunya, it usually makes up for the next dunya. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of the day does appreciate the fact that you're suffering in this dunya. With ease comes hardship, and with hardship comes ease. And as always, Ramadan Mubarak, my brothers and sisters. Inshallah, until next time. Assalamu alaikum.